Washington, D.C. was never on my list of places to visit. I always thought I like tropical places, warmer climates, because I hate the cold. Of course, on the day we're supposed to leave, Michigan decided to dump 1 to 3 inches of snow on us with incredible winds, and the road commissions didn't do anything until after the storm had hit. When I mentioned to Tim that I wanted him to go on this journey with me, D.C. came up almost immediately. Tim and I both love history, which is something we discovered on a tour we did together last year with his band.
I hated him at first, but I've grown to love kiosks.
I've known him for years and was shocked to find out that he actually values some educational adventure.
I really thought I was going to have to publicly drink. Oh.
When I was a kid, traveling was always my favorite part of the adventure. Sure, the destination was the ultimate goal, but there was just something about the journey that I really liked. Thinking of all the possible things to see alongside the highways and byways fueled my imaginative mind.
Yeah, and then you realize it's in Ohio.
I loved all the roadside attractions and tourist traps with overpriced pieces of usually poorly made trinkets and toys. The strange-looking people at rest areas rubbing elbows with people you'd never see again. Like side characters in each other's personal quest. The thought that some of those people could remember you forever or never think of you again always interested me. Road trips are a certain slice of Americana that has always resonated with me. A dusty desert highway, a rural 2-track in the mountains, a worn-down trail along the river, wondering where they lead, and who had traveled them before me.
Promised us you'd get us to the new city, but then didn't.
Doesn't.
I wake up dying in a rest stop. I should be in a room. This is bullshit.
I cut myself opening the tuna can.
What was waiting at the end of the journey, and what experiences were there to be had? Road trip movies have always been a staple in my personal tastes. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, Dutch, Thelma and Louise, Almost Famous, or in this case, Dumb and Dumber. All of them covering the wide spectrum of possibilities of 4 tires on the pavement and the entire world ahead of you. The only things necessary were money and a mode of transportation, but most importantly, a sense of adventure. But also
We're
money.
at Shawnee State Park in the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania. Babe, are you coming to bed? We're sleeping on the shore of a lake in Shawnee National Park in Pennsylvania. Let's see if we get kicked out because the campground was closed.
Susan Sontag once said that travel becomes a strategy for accumulating photographs, and I kinda get what Susan Sontag was talking about now. As I get older, I'm finding the urge to travel is becoming stronger. And my mental health is already about as strong as a stick-built pig house. So it's pretty important that I travel now.
That's good enough, honestly.
The distance isn't important to me, but the journey is everything. I'm at a proverbial crossroads in my life, passing from one long-term career into a new unfamiliar field of study. It's a mental road trip, so to speak, with many strangers to rub elbows with at the counter of some backroads bar or standing at the cusp of a national monument. There are people who can teach you new things, show you new skills or experiences, or even hand out life-changing advice that can make you see the world in an entirely different light. The next segment will be shown without comment. Aside from the fact that it is one of the most emotionally heavy and profound places I have ever been, and I think the reasons will be obvious. Travel and photography has gone hand in hand since photography was birthed upon the world. It's how others can show you the world in which they are living, and the path that they each walk. They use it to teach you about their culture, their food, their traditions, their discoveries. A majority of the information you receive today comes from either photo or video. It's how news used to spread, and shock, and awe, and how we were able to share memories. We can take a part of our internal storage and show it to someone else. We can share our joys, our adventures, and even our tragedies with each other, simply through a camera. The Civil War was the single bloodiest event in American history. And standing where so many Americans took up arms against each other really highlighted the possibility that it's not at all out of the question.
The OSA.
It's a stark reminder that every now and then, countries turn on one another.
Yeah.
And the results can be terrifying.
I'm wondering.
An innocuous cornfield was fed by the blood of over 4,000 Americans that died in a single day during one particular battle. A simple ditch that you happen to be walking in with your child could be the place where bodies were once stacked on top of each other, one after the other. Feels like ancient history, but ancient is just relative to your place in history. A bridge is no longer a bridge. It's the final standing ground, where you fend off the enemy soldiers as they try to cross it to get to your location.
Did it.
Oh.
I'm tired.
Something. Need nappies?
Need snackies.
I got crackers in the car.
I got weed in my pocket. Yeah, this is definitely erosion.
Yeah.
The first winter storm warning hit our phones 12 hours before the storm was even supposed to begin. And after abandoning our first shelter at a rest area because Tim didn't like the vibes, we settled on the next safest place, a Target parking lot.
The salt!
The track that he made.
This is the most wild overreaction to winter I have ever seen. It's 2 to 4 inches of snow.
2 to 4 inches of salt!
There goes Tim to take a piss. Behind a populated center. And the sounds of sirens are going off because Washington, D.C. is falling apart because there is a winter weather warning of 2 to 4 inches of snow. Please don't eat shit and have to go to the hospital.
And we watched the plow trucks get ready for 6 hours before the first snow even fell.
Yeah, it's coming down.
Yeah.
And fall it did not.
We will rebuild.
DC is notoriously bad for traffic, but we actually had a pretty decent time making it to our parking garage, which was very much affordable. We only spent $16 to park the whole day, when on average it's usually $52.
It could be like Union Station or something, but
Very well. Could be.
We were standing in history, a place that I only ever saw in textbooks and news broadcasts. You don't realize how beautiful DC is until you see it in person. The craftsmanship that went into the buildings is astounding. Thousands upon thousands of exhibits, one after the other. Strangers staring in awe at human history and ingenuity. yeah, absolutely. I'd be dying. There's nothing on the third floor here. Tim made me wait in line for way too long to see the founding documents of this country, and while I was incredibly annoyed at first, it was well worth the wait. I'm going to steal the Declaration of Independence. America was built upon these documents, and they've shaped the way this country is built and operated. I may not agree with most of the things the federal government says and does these days, but they got things right with the Declaration, Constitution, and Bill of Rights. For some reason, I associate the Washington Monument as being the centerpiece of DC. It's iconic and way taller than you think it is. Also, oddly phallic, but that's a conversation for another video that I'm not having.
We are open. What are you? Are you food? There's the fucking White House, bro.
I found myself focusing on the people of the city. None of them knowing one another, all of them on their own journey, ghosts amongst history and my own story. I'll likely never meet them or know them, but they've been immortalized by a digital sensor, forever in a story they'll never read or know themselves. To have walked where the founding fathers of America walked, to have seen what became of the city that they built to be the hub of this nation, is truly a humble adventure to take with one of my best friends. The miles we put on both my Jeep and our feet are beyond measure.
Wonder if we're copying this out?
As is the profound experiences we gathered along the way.
Where's Harlem going?
You guys are gonna want to see this. It's fucking awesome. This is one of the craziest places I've ever been.
Oh, I didn't know that.
What'd you do?
That obviously wasn't.
Yeah. There ain't no fucking way, dude. There is? Oh yeah, okay. I told you, dude, these squirrels are thugs. They don't even fear the FBI.
I just did way too much walking in Washington, D.C., and now we're stopped at a Taco Bell just north of D.C. because we are too lazy to cook, so hopefully make it to the state forest tonight, but we'll figure it out. We're going to sleep in the car again.
But straight up, fuck Morgantown, West Virginia, though, and their smelly ass river.
well, we smell like asshole, and I just dropped Tim off. And visited my parents for a minute before heading home, and man, what a trip.
Keep your cabaret where they turn nights into days. I'd rather be where they go to bed at